very influential in my decision on what uni to choose. So I went to about 7 open days to try and narrow down which ones I wanted to apply to.
Open day was very, very important, so you obviously get to see you actually get to see how life in the university would be like if you were there.
The open day was really important because I needed to get the feel of the university, to feel as though I could spend the next 4 years or maybe more there.
Overall, I think just a general feeling of being welcomed into the university is very important for a successful open day, and helped me decide which university I would be going to.
On that day I decided, after I'd been to the open day, that was the uni I wanted to go to. Just from how impressed I was and being able to see myself going there.
Getting a real feel for the university and feeling at home within that place that is going to be your home for quite a long time is especially important.
I went to one open day that was badly planned. It seemed like badly organised, and there was a lack of signposting and directions. It was quite stressful, and I decided not to choose this particular university. It sort of put me off.
No one knew what was going on. There was no clear timetable or anything. There was no student union. The students had no clue what was going on.
It took far too long for them to be able to get their points across, and there were some parts of the presentations that were quite unnecessary, and I felt as if the teachers were a bit cold. I didn't feel I could spend the next 4 years here and this could be my lecture. I didn't get that kind of vibe.
I think a tour of the area around the university, or just the key places in the city, would be really nice. How can you decide where you're going to be living for 3 years if you don't really know what the city's like?
The universities that I chose in the end, they had made me feel like I belonged there. They also seemed genuinely interested in me.
I was like, oh wow, if I came to this university, I would have access to this massive swimming pool, I'd have access to this giant library, state-of-the-art computers. It had everything that you could wish for. Even though it was big, everyone was still super friendly, and I like that. It was the great contrast in having state-of-the-art stuff, but still being super friendly and still having open arms. I think that's what sort of made me lean towards them.
What they did was they had their current third years, not just the ones that chaperone, that guide you around the building, but they actually had them come in and show us their actual projects that they've been working on.
It was students taking us through the entire thing, students introducing the lecturers for their talks, and that was incredibly impressive and incredibly effective as well, because those students were people that we could potentially be in 1 or 2 years' time.
I had that really in-depth conversation with a member of staff about any questions I had, which really made me feel welcome and that they were interested in having me.
We were able to use the on-site restaurants, so this was useful because it gave me an idea of what student life is actually like and amongst actual students.
It was still very transparent, they weren't hiding anything there. It was still, this is going to be a lot of hard work, and they weren't trying to hide anything, they weren't trying to jazz anything up, which I really respected.
I think virtual open days could be really useful for someone who couldn't get there or didn't have the time or even the money to get there. I would only use them if I had to, because the whole point of them is to really get a feel for it.
I would only use it as a last resort if I'm unable to go to if it's too far out, the university open days too far out, say Durham or something.
It's better than nothing. Even if you don't get the real true feel of the university, you will get something that you can use as your guide to be oh, is this university really for me?
I prefer to go to a university in person. I definitely would use them. Maybe if it was a university I wasn't really sure on. If it was one that was really high up on my list, then I would probably go to it rather than go on a virtual tour.
Virtual open days would be good to sort of narrow your selection down. It would be nice to use them in combination with a physical open day. But I do feel that ultimately it is important to actually physically visit. There were a few universities which I thought would be perfect for me, and then when I visited them, they actually just didn't feel right.